Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to online lecture number 14 of the mobile application development course. In the previous lecture, we studied context menu and we didn't have much time, so therefore we left alerts and date pickers. But today we are going to study and implement alerts and date pickers in mobile application development course, specifically in and on the Android platform. So with that, this is today's outline. We discussed in the previous class, we discussed the context menu and we said why we use context menu. It appears on the screen of our activity where the user can perform some choices. But today we are going to see what are alerts, and if we have time we are also going to discuss date pickers and time pickers. So these are very useful tools that can really speeds up your mobile application development process, and you these are very powerful, so you do not have to reinvent wheel or reinventing all these classes from the start. So in the previous class we discussed this context menu, but today we are going to discuss dialogues, and one of those dialogues is the alert dialog box. So uh, so you also create an app that shows a dialog to request a user choice, such as an alert that requires user to tap OK or cancel. A dialog is a window that appears on top of the display or fills the display, interrupting the flow of activity. Android provides ready-to-use dialogs called pickers from picking a time or a date. You can use them to ensure that your user picks a valid time or date that is formatted correctly and adjusted to the local time and date. So this is an example of alert dialog. So this is alert dialog window. So we are going to create a new app that display this alert dialog. This dialog interrupts the user workflow and requires the user to make choices. Either user can click cancel or OK. So if OK is pressed, the toast message is displayed. Otherwise, if cancel is pressed, nothing is going to happen. So with that, I'm going to create a new project. So let us open Android Studio. So I'm going to go to file, new project, and then make sure that empty activity is selected, and then I'm going to give it a name of dialog for alert, and the rest of the option are fine. So click finish and then wait for Android Studio so to complete its job. The first thing we are going to do is to go to the res folder and go to the values folder and go to the string folder, and here I'm going to give a little space for the app name dialog for the alert, and then I'm going to add some string. The first string is the hello word string. It displays simply a hello world text. Okay, hello world, and tap to test the alert. And then we have some more strings, and that is called alert underscore button, and the value is alert. And then I'm going to add another string called alert title, alert alert title, and the value is also alert. And then we have another string called alert message, alert underscore message, and the alert message is click OK to continue or cancel. cancel to stop. Then we move on and we add another string. So this string is for OK button, and the value is OK. And then we have another string for the cancel button, and you guessed it, the value is cancel. And then we are going to add some more string, one of which is pressed OK, which we are going to use in the toast messages. So pressed OK, and then the last string is pressed cancel. So what we pressed the cancel button. So these are the string that we are going to use in our app. So these were few strings. So I just typed them very quickly. Moving on to our main layout file. Yeah, this is our layout file, and I'm going to go to the design mode and here I'm going to click it. In fact, if I go to the text view and the text is hello world, so better to use @string slash hello world. Yeah, this looks fine. And then we have to add a button below this text. So let me delete this constraint and add a button. Bring it here. I'm going to add a button over here. Constraint to the bottom, to the left, to the right, and to below. Okay, so let me change the text size because I'm not comfortable with the text size. So text size, so we can change it to 18 sp. Yeah, that looks fine. And I'm going to select this button, and the text will be alert. And I'm also going to make sure that the rest of the attributes are also okay. So yeah, wrap content, text view ID is okay, the button ID is okay, and the text size, everything looks fine. Yeah, the button ID, the text is alert. I think we can get that from our string file. So now if I go to the split option, yeah, still it is alert. I am going to use the text which is defined in our string file, and that is alert button. I'm going to add one more attribute, and that is called on click. So when we click on this button, so a method will be called, and that method is called on click show alert. Because this method is not declared in the main activity Java file, so we can declare it by asking Android Studio to create it for us, and you see that the error has gone. I think we are done with the design part, and let's go to the Java file. and we can like add the corresponding code for the alert. So the first thing is I'm going to add multi-line comment in order to like facilitate you like what is happening in in this app. So we are going to handles the alert button click, and we are going to build the alert dialog with a title, message, and OK and cancel buttons. Also, we are going to define toast messages to appear depending on which alert button is clicked, and shows the alert window. Okay, so with that we can straight away move to on click show alert method, and here in order to create a alert dialog, we are going to use alert dialog class, and we are going to use the builder class alert builder alert dialog dot builder, and give it a name my alert builder, and then we are going to say new alert dialog builder and pass in as augment the current activity, which is the main activity dot this, and don't forget to put semicolon, and then after that we are going to set the dialog title and message. How? So you can simply write my alert builder dot set title, and the title is, we already declared in the string file r dot string dot alert title, and then for the message, once again I'm going to use my alert builder dot set message. And what was the message? Yeah, we declared in the string file r dot string dot alert message. So now you know that why these meaningful names are so much important, because you do not have to remember, you do not have to put a lot of load on your memory. After that I'm going to add the dialog button. Yeah, there are two buttons. So my alert builder dot the positive button, so set positive button, and then what is the text for the positive button? R dot string dot, yeah, you remember it, okay, underscore button, and then we are going to implement a dialog interface dot on click listener. So you can write new dialog interface dot on click listener. Yeah, that's it. And we can like we can tell what the user should do when he click the OK button. So user, here we can say that user click OK button, but what are the action that we have to carry? We can call a toast, make toast, and get application context, and then we can display a message. The message was r dot string dot pressed OK, and the length of the toast, so toast dot length long, and do not forget to show it. All right, so one thing has been implemented, and that is what can we do when a user click on the positive button, and then we have to implement the cancel button or negative button as well. So I can write my alert builder dot set negative button, and then once again what is the string for the negative button? It is r dot string cancel button, and then once again we are going to implement the dialog interface dot on click listener, and then inside the on click method we know that the user uh, cancel the dialog. So then we can once again display a toast dot make text get application context, and then we can say r dot string dot so pressed cancel. Yeah, I think this is the one. Yeah, pressed cancel. And what else? Yeah, the toast length. So the length of toast is toast dot length long show. Yeah, that's it. And don't forget to put semicolon over here, and don't forget to show your my alert builder dot, don't forget to show it, otherwise um, you won't be able to see it on the screen. So with that I think we are done with this part of alert dialog, and now I'm going to run it and see how it appears on the screen. So let the Gradle does its job. So operation succeeded. So it means that it has successfully implemented. Yeah, you can see this is our app dialog for alert. When I click on this button, you can see this is now alert dialog, and this was the message, this is the title, this is the message. Click OK to continue or cancel to stop. So if I click cancel, pressed cancel, but if I click OK, so you can see that now OK is pressed. So this was the objective of today's lecture, and this is how we can use our app to implement the alert dialog. After that we discussed that we are also going to see how to implement the date pickers. So for that I'm going to create another app, and let me click file, new project, select the empty activity and give it a meaningful name. I'm going to say picker for date. Everything else is okay. And now first I'm going to go to the string file and add some string, because we need these strings throughout our application. So congratulations, the project has been successfully created. So it's picker for date, this is the app name, and then we can create some more string. The first one is date, and the value is date colon. And then we have another string, date underscore button, and the value is date. And then we have another string, hello world, and this time we are going to display hello world user date. And then we have a date picker, and the value will be date picker. Okay, with that I'm going to go to my layout file. Yeah, this is our layout file, and if I go to the code, and first I'm going to give ID to this text view, and the ID is simply a text view. The text is in fact defined in the string file, so @string hello world. Yeah, that is okay. And then I can go to the design mode, delete this constraint, bring it back in the middle, um, increase the text size, because to make it little more visible, get the button for the date, constrain it to the bottom, to the left, to the right, because if you don't constrain it will show a very unusual behavior on the screen when you run your app. So I'm going to constrain top to text view bottom, bring it here, okay. First I'm going to delete this constraint. Now I'm going to attach it to this text, and now we are in position to change the attributes of these button. The ID of button is okay, but the text should be from the string file. So string slash date button, and then the on click attribute is show date picker, and the rest of the attributes are okay. We are getting this error because we haven't created that method, so we are going to take help from Android Studio to implement that method in the main activity Java file. And you can now see that everything is okay. Okay, if I go to so the first thing that we are going to do is to create a date picker fragment, because we must implement it using a fragment, because a fragment is a sub activity that appears on the screen that that allows you to select a date. So for if you are worried about what is a fragment, so like fragment is a portion of your user interface within an activity. It's like a mini activity within the main activity with its own life cycle, and it's used for building a picker. So you can use a fragment class. uh, so one of the benefit of using the fragment for the picker is that you can isolate the code section from managing the date and the time for various locals that display date and time in different ways. So now the point is how to create um, a date picker, and how to create a new fragment for the date picker. So yeah, go to this package, and then main activity, and then right click new, and then you can search for the fragment, and it will be better to select the fragment blank. So give it a name. So I'm going to give the name to this fragment as date picker fragment, date picker fragment, and then fragment layout file name. um, I think I'm not going to have, okay, it says that it must have a uh, name fragment. Okay, I'll leave it to fragment date picker. Okay, and the language is Java, and now I can click finish. So Gradle is creating a fragment for us. So you can see Gradle projects is in process. So this is what uh, you can see, uh, like the date picker fragment, which is extend fragment, and it has some other built-in code which we are going to discuss step by step. But first, let me tell you that if I go up, and you can see that this date picker fragment, it extends a fragment, and if here if I we can, because we are implementing a date picker, so I can write date picker dialog dot on date listener. So because we are implementing it, these two this date picker dialog interface, so you have to write implements date picker dialog dot on date set listener, and here we are going to implement the methods. So there is one method on date set, and you can see that we have successfully implemented that method. Okay, so if I move up, I'm going to delete some codes that I do not require, so I'm going to delete this code. So I don't know why. Okay, I'm just going to leave it here, and I'm going to, I think we are also running out of time, So I'm going to stop here. We are going to discuss more about these date figures in the next class. So I'll see you. Till then, take care and Allah Hafiz.